what just makes you have the courage and just be inspired and just, I don't know, just excited enough to just pack everything up and move or go to another country. And I'm saying this because I see this in my daughter. My daughter has, our daughter has been to Costa Rica. She's been to Guatemala. She just got back from Jamaica. So, what is that spark? Do you know?
I think is curiosity. I think that's the main spark. You want to see, is it better elsewhere? Is something better elsewhere? Maybe, for example, maybe it's the 9 to 5 grind, or maybe it's kind of retirement. Maybe for retirees, they want to see if they could have a better retirement elsewhere. I think it's mainly because of curiosity. There is this wanderlust and also adventure aspect too. And for me, I just felt like my life in the U.S. was getting kind of stale and boring, and I did a lot of things in the U.S., but I just felt like I wanted to experience what else was out there, and I wasn't deterred by a lot of times. So they have this travel State Department website, where they tell you,
Yeah.
oh, don't go here, don't go here, don't go. It's dangerous. People getting kidnapped, and all that. And for me, I didn't allow that to deter me, because I know that there's always two sides to a story. And I've always seen people on YouTube having a great time in places like Jamaica and places like Mexico and places like Grenada. And I'm like, well, they're not kidnapped, obviously, so maybe they know an area that's pretty safe. And that's what inspired me to not be deterred by all these government travel state warnings. And yeah, that did not stop me, and that's what kept me traveling.
Wow. Well, I am glad, along with all of my guests here who are watching here in the chat, and those of you who are watching with us, and those of you who will be watching the replay, welcome. I am Synolve, and this is Callan. So he has an amazing story and is a world traveler. He's doing all of the things, of course, that all, if you're a part of this channel, then you are, I mean, Callan is just speaking our language. He's doing the things that we all are planning and are wanting to do, living just an amazing, amazing life. And it's very exciting. So I want you to please go over and support Callan. Go over to his YouTube channel. We're trying to get him up to that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So support him, and share, right? And then
Yes.
connect with
Yes.
each other, because that's what we're here to do, to support and to connect with each other. And so African Dreaming has a question. Do you plan to be more nomadic, or do you plan to settle in Mexico long term?
That's a great question. Well, I think probably I'm going to we're going to settle in Mexico, probably more long term. It's been harder to travel, the past 2 years with the pandemic and the travel restrictions, and also the inflation. Certain countries have experienced more inflation than other countries. Fortunately, in Mexico, minimal inflation. Sometimes when I buy things in Mexico, it's almost like I'm getting it for free. Uh, so yeah, I would say, also too, my girlfriend, all her family is here. She has one sister in Italy, but the rest of her family is here in Mexico. So yeah, I'm thinking probably Mexico long term. But I would say maybe throughout the year, maybe once a year, we will go to possibly a new country for a season.
Ah, that sounds awesome. I wanted to say, Callan, that when you were doing the thing, you were doing the, all the check boxes of the issues that they say on the travel State Department,
Uh-huh.
the crime. Are you
Uh-huh.
safe? Are you
Uh-huh.
that would
Uh-huh.
make a perfect Instagram video, a reel. I'm just saying that would make a perfect Instagram and TikTok reel, doing the pointing and having then the words
Uh-huh.
come up on the screen.
Yeah, actually, you're right. You're right. That would be a good YouTube video. Because, I can't speak for every country because I haven't been to every country, but at least with Mexico, most of the places that they are, saying, oh, like scaring people about, most of these places are not an issue. There are a few places in Mexico that you need to be careful, of course, but most of those places are not a
Uh-huh.
danger to expats. Because I've been to a lot of those places. For example,
Okay.
they talk about San Miguel de Allende is in the state of Guanajuato, and typically that's one of the states in the travel warnings. And they talk about how people get kidnapped and extorted. That has never happened to me. Never. I was there for 7 months. Never happened to me.
Never happened to you.
No. So I agree with you. That I will definitely do that. That will be a great YouTube video.
Yeah, I interviewed recently Adelia Abortione, and she is in Mexico,
Mhm,
and she is Picky Girl Travels here on YouTube.
mhm.
And she said, I ain't got no cartel business. So
Yeah,
cartel don't have any
yeah,
business with me. And
uh,
so, and
exactly.
so, right. And so I don't think, if you don't have cartel business, it's just like living here in the US. I don't have gang business. I don't have that kind of
Yeah,
business.
and
So
I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people think that, oh, there's cartels in Mexico, they're dangerous. Well, I'm from Philadelphia, and there is a quite so they have more like local gangs in Philadelphia where they cover different parts of the
yeah.
city. And unfortunately, the gang that I had to deal with because I was living in that ghetto, they were so dangerous that the police never came to those areas. They never
Mhm.
came. When a resident called the police about a problem because of something, someone got shot or robbed, and the police
Yeah.
will always answer the phone. They'll always say, "Hello, yes, where are you?" And then once you give them the zip code, they say, "We'll be right there." And they never come. They never come. They never come.
Yeah.
Because once you give them that zip code, they know where you are and they think, oh, it's not worth it. I don't want to die, even though the police are supposed to protect people. So a lot of people are scared of cartels, but I was born and raised in a ghetto, so to me it's almost the same. When in Mexico, I have never had any issues with the cartels. Besides, most of them don't speak English, so you know there's that too. So I never had any issues. Never had any issues with them. Typically, uh, these organizations, they have their own businesses, and as a result they know that when foreigners come they spend a lot of money, whether they have a restaurant or a hotel or whatever. But they uh, they are violent to some people, and I do recognize that, but I have never had that experience. I have other expat friends, they also never had that experience. you know if it's a person who wants to make enemies, then maybe they will have problems with those cartels. But I'm a very peaceful person. I'm nice to everybody. I stay to myself. So I think most people who come to Mexico will share the same experience as me.